My best friend stole my smile first. Then she stole my man, my home, and my future. And when I told the truth, nobody believed me. My name is Emma. For most of my life, I believed one thing. A best friend is like a sister. She protects you. She keeps your secrets. She stays when life gets hard. That was what I believed about Chloe. We met when we were 13. I was shy, she was loud and funny. I had books in my bag, she had snacks. I helped her study, she helped me talk to people. We grew up together. We shared everything: clothes, music, dreams, tears. When my first boyfriend broke my heart, Chloe slept next to me and said, "One day a good man will love you the right way." And one day, it happened. His name was Jake. Jake was kind, calm, patient. He remembered small things. He brought me coffee when I worked late. He kissed my forehead when I was tired. After 3 years together, he asked me to marry him. I cried. Chloe cried too. She hugged me so tight and said, "You got the life we used to dream about." At the time, it sounded sweet. I did not know it was the beginning of the end. Jake and I lived in a small but warm apartment near the city center. I worked at an event company. It was not a big job, but I loved it. I planned weddings, parties, and business events. I was also close to getting a promotion. My life felt safe, simple, happy. Then Chloe called me one rainy night. She was crying. "Emma, please," she said, "I have nowhere to go." Her boyfriend had left her, she lost her job 2 weeks before, her landlord wanted rent she could not pay. She said she only needed a few days. Of course, I said yes. She came with 2 bags, red eyes, and a broken voice. I gave her tea. Jake carried her things inside. She looked around our apartment and smiled in a strange way. "This place is beautiful," she said softly. "You are so lucky." That night, I told Jake, "Only for a week. She just needs help." Jake nodded. "She's your best friend." Yes, I thought. She is. At first, everything looked normal. Chloe cleaned the kitchen, she cooked dinner, she laughed again, she thanked us many times. She even helped me choose flowers for the wedding. "You should wear your hair up," she told me. "Jake likes your neck." I laughed. "Since when do you know that?" She smiled. "I notice things." I should have noticed too. A week became 2, 2 became a month. Then small things started to feel wrong. One morning, I couldn't find my favorite white blouse. Later, I saw Chloe wearing it. "Oh, sorry," she said. "I thought you wouldn't mind." I forced a smile. "Just ask next time." Then she started wearing my perfume. Then my earrings. Then she bought shoes almost the same as mine. "You look like sisters," Jake joked one evening. Chloe looked at me and said, "Maybe that's why people get confused." "Confused about what?" I asked, but she only smiled. That smile stayed in my mind all night. A few days later, I got good news. My boss said I was the top choice for a new manager role. I was so excited. That night, we opened a cheap bottle of wine at home. Jake kissed me. "I'm proud of you." Chloe raised her glass. "To Emma, the perfect job, the perfect man, the perfect life." Her words were warm, but her eyes were not. The next week, I helped Chloe get a temporary job at my company. I thought it would help her stand again. I told my boss she was smart and hardworking. That was my second big mistake. At work, Chloe was quiet and sweet with everyone. Too sweet. People liked her fast, very fast. She brought coffee for the team. She laughed at my boss's jokes. She said, "Emma is amazing. She taught me so much." But then, strange things started happening. An event plan I made disappeared from my folder. Later that same day, Chloe showed a very similar idea in a team meeting. Everyone clapped. My boss smiled at her. "Excellent work, Chloe." I stared at the screen. My chest felt cold. After the meeting, I asked her, "Did you use my file?" She looked hurt. "Emma, wow, you think I would steal from you?" "I didn't say steal, but you meant it." I felt guilty immediately. That was how Chloe worked. She made you feel bad for seeing the truth. Then Jake started coming home late. At first, he said work was busy. Then he said traffic was bad. Then he stopped explaining. At dinner, he checked his phone and smiled at messages he didn't show me. One night, I woke up at 2 a.m. Jake was not in bed. I walked to the kitchen. I heard whispers. Chloe was there. Jake, too. They stood close. Too close. When they saw me, Chloe stepped back fast. Jake said, "You scared me." I looked from one face to the other. "What is going on?" "Nothing," Chloe said. "I couldn't sleep. Jake was just getting water." At 2 a.m., in the dark, whispering? I wanted to scream, but I said nothing, and maybe that was my third mistake. The next day, I saw a message on Jake's phone by accident. It said, "She doesn't know yet." No name, no heart, just those 4 words. My hands started shaking. Doesn't know what? I looked at Jake. He was in the shower. Water ran, my heart ran faster. I wanted to open the chat. I wanted the truth. But then the phone screen went dark, and I heard the bathroom door open. That whole day, I couldn't breathe right. Have you ever felt your life moving under your feet, like the floor is water? That was me. At work, things got worse. My boss called me into her office. She looked angry. "Did you send this email?" She turned her screen toward me. It was from my work account. The email insulted a client. It called their event cheap and boring. It was rude and unprofessional. I stared at it. "I didn't write that." "It came from your account." "I swear I didn't." My boss crossed her arms. "Go home for now. We will talk later." My promotion was gone in 1 minute. Outside the office, Chloe touched my arm. "Emma, I'm so sorry," she whispered. I pulled away. "Was it you?" Her face changed at once. For 1 second, I saw something dark. Then it was gone. "How can you ask me that?" she said, eyes wet. "I love you." Love. What a cruel word. That evening, I went home early. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. Then I heard laughter from my bedroom. Not the TV. Real laughter. I walked to the door. My hand froze on the handle. I opened it. Jake and Chloe were on my bed. My bed. He still had his hand on her face. She was wearing my pink sweater. For a second, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then my whole world broke. "Emma," Jake started. I could not even hear him. I looked at Chloe. "How long?" She sat up slowly. She didn't even look ashamed. She looked calm. That hurt more. "Long enough," she said. Jake stood. "Please let me explain." I laughed, but it sounded like crying. "Explain what? Explain my best friend in my bed? Explain my fiancé kissing her?" Chloe crossed her arms. "Maybe stop acting shocked. You were always busy, always tired, always working." I stared at her. "So this is my fault?" She stepped closer. "No, it's just some people know how to keep love. Some people don't." My face burned. Jake said, "Chloe, stop." But he did not deny it. He did not choose me. He just stood there, silent, weak. I grabbed a bag and threw random clothes inside. I did not want to stay 1 more second. Jake followed me to the door. "Emma, please, let's talk tomorrow." I looked at him through tears. "Tomorrow? You gave my place away tonight." Then I turned to Chloe. "My whole life, I loved you like a sister." She tilted her head and said the words I will never forget. Then maybe you should have watched your sister more closely. I left. I slept at my mother's house that night. I cried until morning, then I cried again. But pain was only the first wave. The second wave was worse. 2 days later, people started calling me. One friend asked, "Why did you leave Jake?" Another said, "I heard you cheated first." I sat up in bed. What? Then I saw Chloe's social media post. A picture of Jake and Chloe in my apartment. My flowers on the table. My candles in the background. The caption said, "Real love sometimes comes from painful truth." I felt sick. Then came more lies. She told people I was cold. She told them I pushed Jake away. She told them I shouted at her for no reason. She told my friends I was jealous because she was finally happy. And people believed her. Why? Because she was smiling. Because I was crying. At work, it got even worse. My boss said the company needed to investigate more. Chloe now acted like the helpful victim. She even brought me soup one day. Soup? Can you imagine? "I still care about you," she said at my mother's door. I almost laughed in her face. Instead, I asked, "Why are you doing this?" For the first time, she answered honestly. "Because you had everything," she said, "and people gave it to you so easily." I shook my head. Nothing was easy. She leaned closer. "You had love, trust, a future. When I stood next to you, I was invisible. I got tired of being second." Then she smiled. But not anymore. She left me standing there like ice. That night, I thought my story was over. I was wrong. Because the next morning, I got a message from a man named Ben. Ben was Chloe's ex-boyfriend, the one before the breakup story she told us. I met him at a small cafe. He looked nervous. He said, "I know this sounds strange, but Chloe did something similar to me." My stomach dropped. He showed me old messages, old voice notes, old photos. In them, Chloe psopied another woman. Same haircut, same clothes, same job place. I whispered, "She's done this before?" Ben nodded. "She gets close to people, she studies them, then she becomes them." A chill ran down my back. Then he showed me one more thing, a video. In the video, Chloe sat in Ben's car, laughing. She said, "Emma still thinks I'm broken. She has no idea. Soon I'll have her job too. Jake is already falling for me." The video was 3 months old. 3 months. She planned it before she moved in, before the tears, before the phone call, before I opened my home. My blood turned hot. My sadness turned to anger. Finally. The next part came fast. Ben helped me check the fake work email. I asked an IT friend to look at the login records. The email was sent from Chloe's computer during her lunch break. We also found that she had copied my event files and sent them to herself. And Jake? He got his own surprise. Ben told me Chloe was still seeing him when she started the affair with Jake. He had proof, hotel bookings, messages, dates. So Chloe did not steal Jake because she loved him. She stole him because it was mine. That truth was ugly, but it gave me power. A week later, Chloe and Jake threw a small engagement party. Yes, engagement. Can you believe that? In the same restaurant Jake once booked for my birthday. My hands shook when I walked in. People turned and stared. Chloe smiled like a queen. "Emma," she said loudly, "I'm glad you came." Jake looked pale. I stepped forward. "You wanted my life so badly, so let's tell everyone how you took it." The room went silent. Chloe laughed. "You should leave." Instead, I connected my phone to the speaker Ben had arranged with the restaurant manager. Then everyone heard her voice. Clear, cold, happy. "Soon I'll have her job too. Jake is already falling for me." Her smile disappeared. Then I showed the fake work email records, then the stolen files. Then Ben walked in. Jake looked at Chloe like he had never seen her before. "What is this?" he asked. Ben answered, "The truth." Friends started whispering. My boss, who was there because the company knew Jake's family, was shocked. She turned to Chloe and said, "You are fired." Jake stepped back from Chloe. "You lied to me?" Chloe tried to speak, but now nobody listened. Nobody. Not one person. For the first time, she looked small. For the first time, I did not. I looked at Jake and said, "You did not just lose me, you lost the only person who truly loved you." Then I turned and walked out. No tears, no shaking, just peace. A week later, my boss called. She apologized. I got my promotion. A month later, I moved into a new apartment. It was smaller, but it was mine. Every cup, every wall, every quiet morning. Mine. Jake sent messages for months. I never replied. Chloe tried too. First angry messages, then crying ones, then silence. I heard she left the city. Maybe she found a new face to wear. Maybe not. But me, I found myself again. And this time I was not soft in the wrong places. I still believe in love. I still believe in trust. But now I know something important. Not everyone who hugs you loves you. Not everyone who cries is broken. And sometimes the person who wants your life the most is the one clapping for you in the front row. So if someone around you copies your smile, your style, your words, look closer. Because one day they may try to take more than your clothes. They may try to take your whole life. But let me tell you this. They can steal your place. They can steal your man. They can steal your job for a moment. But they can never steal your truth. And once the truth speaks, everything burns.